we want to develop a vision, a scenario of the future classroom with increased levels of innovation in learning and teaching using technology, we have to start by asking ourselves a difficult question. How much innovation is there already in my school or in my teaching? And this is a question we want you to ask yourselves. Now, in the iTech project, we created a tool, a framework for assessing or measuring the level of innovation maturity in a school. We call it the Innovation Maturity Model, and I'm going to describe it to you and take you through the various steps in a minute. The Innovation Maturity Model very simply looks at different levels of maturity in the use of technology in schools. So, for example, at a low level of innovation maturity, you would expect not much technology to be being used in learning and teaching, and you would expect perhaps if there is good technology in place, that it's not really being used very effectively to support learners. So therefore, of course, in a school with a very high level of innovation maturity, you'd expect to see technology being used very well, very effectively to support learners meeting their learning goals, and also in the overall management of the school. So the Innovation Maturity Model helps us set our starting point from which we can then create a scenario to have increased or greater levels of innovation in learning and teaching. In this Innovation Maturity Model, there are 5 stages of innovation. Each stage represents a different level of maturity, with stage 1 being the lowest and stage 5 the highest. In the first stage of the Innovation Maturity Model, technology is used within traditional teaching approaches. The learner is teacher-directed and located only in the classroom, with students being consumers of learning content and resources. For example, this would be a lesson where the teacher shows a PowerPoint on a whiteboard to explain a concept to students, but students themselves don't actually use technology. We've all surely used this kind of teaching approach, and there's not necessarily something wrong with it, as long as it's only a small part of the teaching and learning process. In the second stage, the learner is the user of the technology. In this way, the technology is used to personalise the learning to some extent by providing different learning routes. Online learning content, learning platforms, or virtual or managed learning environments can commonly provide this. In the third stage, the technology being used is not simply an add-on to the normal teaching approach, but is a fully integrated part of the teaching and learning practice. The use of technology for providing content and assessment and managing data is embedded in the school management and delivery of teaching. Based on research in learning, the learner becomes an active producer rather than a passive consumer of information and ideas. At the fourth level of maturity, technology is ubiquitous and connected, extending the learning beyond the classroom to the home or any other location. Learning supported by technology can take place anywhere and any time, and at this level the learner takes much more responsibility and control of their own learning. To achieve this, the technology must provide reliable access to tools, resources and other people to support collaborative learning. An example of this is the use of a combination of creativity and communication tools to enable project-based learning. Learners may use mobile devices to capture audio and video materials, which they can then use to produce project work and publish as evidence. Messaging and video conferencing technologies can also be used to coordinate their work with other students, along with online text or media editing tools. The technology allows the teacher to monitor this work and provide guidance and support when necessary. The fifth level of maturity is the highest level shown on this Innovation Maturity Model. This level is marked by significantly more learner independence. The learner has far more control over what is being learnt, how and when, choosing from a range of technologies for creativity and collaboration. This level of maturity is intended to provide students with the skills for lifelong learning, which will allow them to maintain relevant skills in a technology-rich society throughout their lives and careers. At this level, their progress is guided by intelligent systems using learning analytics that can analyse progress and recommend the resources needed according to the learner's personal needs. So from that description of the innovation maturity model, I hope you can see how it's used and the principles around which it's based, and hopefully you can understand how you might use it yourself to bring greater innovation into your classroom by looking at the level you're at the moment and then looking at the level you might want to get to through developing a future classroom scenario. It's important to remember that the innovation maturity model is based on something called a self-review framework, which was used in the United Kingdom to allow schools to benchmark their own level of innovation maturity in the use of technology. The model was then adapted and adopted by other countries, and the adaptation is quite important. You might look at the model and think that it doesn't quite fit within your education system, and some of the descriptions might need changing and adapting, and that's perfectly fine, as long as you understand the principles and understand how it can be used.